Greetings. Happy International Left-Handers Day. Today, the 13th of August, we are celebrating International Left-Handers Day, and it's a great pleasure to be interacting with so many teachers, students all over, not only India, but globally. It's an August gathering, virtual though. And in the past, we have had some exemplary programs and live events, but now, because COVID changed it all, we have been having such virtual or Zoom or YouTube talks. Today, it gives me immense pleasure and great happiness to introduce this evening's speaker, the founder of Association of Left-Handers Pune, Bipin Chandra Chaugule. Actually, I have known him for almost over 2 decades, ever since I came to Pune. And this particular association, I had heard about it long before I joined. But I have not seen anyone so passionate about left-handedness and about the research-oriented work. And Bipin has been doing this for so many years. And he has been relentlessly doing research and bringing together people for the cause of, creating awareness and to champion the cause of left-handers and left-handedness. And not just left-handedness, but about handedness, in fact, largely. And today, I'll give a brief introduction because actually it's a lengthy one, but I'm told that it should be restricted because we want to hear more from Bipin actually, and also interaction from the people who have joined in. So Bipin Chandra Chaugule, he did his studies in Pune, and he did his BSc Physics and then journalism, and he has been into psychology and sociology. In fact, his master's is in sociology, and he's a researcher in handedness, and he's a researcher associated with EMRC, University of Pune, or Savitribai Phule Pune University. And his work, when it comes to his core profession, that is journalism, has been because of his association with Balchitravani, children's programs, and also he has been a producer, he is a filmmaker, he has been into ad films and filmmaking, journalism, and he teaches actually even film direction and the process of filmmaking. So about left-handedness and about handedness, actually, he has been into long-term research, and we would like to hear a lot from him today because we are all keen to have his session, and many of us are looking forward to his talk. He has been actually giving so many interviews even today, the entire day, because it's our day. And according to me, according to him as well, we celebrate Left-Handers Day today. It's a big day, yes, but people like us celebrate handedness or left-handedness every day. So we look forward to your session, Bipin, and let us have you talk about your experience and about the guidance that we can give to teachers, not only to students, but teachers and parents as well. And today we are actually having this session conducted by Prashant Belinja, a president of Vidyadan, and Vidyadan Foundation is into education, and they are an NGO working in many states, not just Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, but today people are joining in from far and wide, from Maharashtra, Karnataka, and also Nagaland, and I have heard from many states. But let us not talk only about India or Bharat, but internationally, globally, we are being covered and we are live. So let us hear from Bipin Chaugule. Over to you, Bipin.
Thank you very much, Leena. First and foremost, I would like to thank Prashant Belinja and the Vidyadan Foundation for organizing such a great event with so many people interested and so many people joining. I'm really overwhelmed, and thank you, Lena, for taking time out to moderate and interact in this session. So nice to see all of you here. And maybe I'm interacting with the Far East friends and Far East brothers and sisters for the first time. So I'm glad that people from Assam, Nagaland, Tripura, and other places really welcome to this session and welcome to the Association of Left-Handers. This itself suggests and tells that how left-handedness is a very crucial, important, and really close to heart issue for everyone. As we may know that left-handedness is around 10 to 12%. You cannot compute it exactly, but in any given population, 10 to 12% of people are left-handed. So in that sense, everybody non-left-hander will have at least one left-hander related to him, either closely or a bit into the wider or extended family. So we all are connected. We all are related to some left-hander or the other. I myself is a left-hander. Lena, of course, also is a left-hander and also a member of our association for so many years. And Lena, thank you very much for the detailed introduction. And I hope I keep up to the expectations. Basically, we are not going into how I started the association, why I started the association, and how the left-handers they came into being, because that will take some time. But let's come directly to the topic of today's discussion, that is difficulties faced or experienced by left-handed children. I understand that today the audience consists of not just pre-primary or primary teachers, but we also have principals of educational institutions, of educational colleges, and other institutions. So it's a bit of a heterogeneous audience, but I will try to cater to each one's expectations. And so kindly bear with me, because some of the facts that I'm going to discuss are going to be very basic, and maybe some will be a little advanced for those who are looking only at the pre-primary and primary children's difficulties. So this will be a mixed bag. And I would have also expect some questions from you. If you can send it on YouTube, and I would request Lena to go through them and scrutinize them and come up with those questions. And you can even patch them on the screen if it's possible, so that I'll be able to answer them. And we will keep last 5 to 10 minutes for the question and answer, because keeping and meeting your expectations is more important than what I want to tell. Because unless and until you are satisfied, this session has no meaning. So I'm going to begin this session. I'm going to use a lot of PowerPoint slides. So hopefully I can share my screen. So first and foremost, welcome from the Association of Left-Handers. These are our credentials and contact details, and best wishes for the 13th of August, International Left-Handers Day. Now, I want to know from all of you, what is wrong with this figure or this image. 15th of August is just around the corner. It's just 2 days away. And anybody who has joined in Zoom, can you tell me if do you find anything wrong in this picture? Lena or anybody else? Mini ma'am or
Sir, it is to the left-hand side the flag is, and the pole is on the right-hand side.
Okay, so it looks odd, right? It is not the right way. Right.
Yeah, opposite. So, mirror image.
Okay, so this is not the way it has to be shown, correct?
Yeah, normally it is not.
Yeah, so is this the correct one?
Yes.
Madam?
It's looking like that, yeah.
Now it is corrected,
yes,
right?
It's looking like that.
So earlier image was the wrong one, and this is the correct one. Now I have another image, and you have to tell me what is wrong and what is right. Can you tell me? There are two flags now. One is according to your expectation and one is opposite to your expectation. So is one of them wrong?
It is as per the, I think we cannot tell it is wrong.
Because
sir, I think it is, we cannot tell it is wrong. It is the opposite side when you are looking into,
No,
that
no,
will be right.
correct.
If
So
I'm
what I'm
standing in this direction and looking, it
Yeah,
is
the thing is,
correct.
we have been conditioned. Now I will go back to look at flag from this angle when it is either printed or either it is shown on screen. Left hand side the pole and the flag furls on the right hand side. But if you see a flag in reality, the flag can furl on
Yes.
any direction as per the wind. So it is the conditioning of the mind that tells us something is wrong, whereas which is not wrong. So what I mean was both these flags are right, but we are conditioned only to select or accept the one with the pole on the left and the flag on the right. This is just a funny example. Now we all are human beings, so we know how humans look. This is how a boy normally would look, or a girl would normally look like this. More detailed, the human figure looks like this from front side and back side. We know there is a front side to the human body and there is a back side to the human body. Now, this is the front side. And if we draw an imaginary straight line in the middle, there is one side we call as right and the other side we call as left. Correct? We have the similar structure in our brain. There is one right side of the brain that is called as right hemisphere, and there is left side of the brain which is called as the left hemisphere. I think mostly you are teachers, so you know these things. But the funny part is the right side of the brain is connected with the left side of the body, and the left side of the brain is connected and controls the right side of the body. So we are cross-laterally connected, as it is called. Now, the brain has two hemispheres, right and left, and they have totally distinct and different functions to perform. I'm not going to go into these details because these details would be available anywhere, and also you can refer to this video later on. But what I'm saying is these two hemispheres look into and control totally different sides of our functioning as a human being. Now, I'll show you a very peculiar example. This is a picture. We all know what it is because the name is also written next to it. It is a bell. Now, the picture or the image of bell and the name bell as we hear it are two different things which are connected with each other. What happens when you see something for the first time, like a person, like you see me for the first time, my face and my name are two different things. Today you can, if you see me after say a half an hour or 1 hour, you will remember, oh, this is the same person, this name. So what happens in our brain, the picture is stored in the right side of the brain, and the name bell is stored or memorized in the left side of the brain. And when you see this thing, both these brains conspire, both these brains come together and say this is a bell. But sometimes it so happens, I can give you an example from everybody's life. You meet a friend or a person after a long time. Like if you meet me after say 5 years down the line and see me, you might remember my face. Oh, you were the same person who gave us the lecture on left-handedness. But name? No, you won't remember my name. Then you will scratch your brain. What was the name? Because right brain instantly gave the output that yes, this is the person you have met or you've seen on screen. But his name, the left brain, may not be able to come up with the correlating name. Oppositely, somebody says, oh, do you remember XYZ in our class? You said, yes, I remember that name XYZ. But I don't remember his face. Because left brain instantly gave you a signal, yes, XYZ was in your class. But his face, right brain, cannot come up with the corresponding image. So these two brains function distinctly sometimes, but in collaboration in most of the times. Now, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere are grown before our birth. When we are in mother's womb, these two brains, along with all our body, start growing. But what happens? Only one of them becomes a little more stronger than the other one. So in majority people, for reasons still completely unknown, left side of the brain becomes a little more stronger than the right side. But in very few people, and what happens when the left brain is stronger, the right side of that person becomes a little more stronger, and that's why people become right-handed and right-footed, right-legged. Sometimes, I mean, in many times, when a right-handed person has right leg stronger than the left leg. What happens in some people, the right brain becomes a little more stronger than the left brain or hemisphere, and in that person, the left side of the body becomes a little more stronger or a little more efficient, as you can say, and those people become left-handers and left-footers. Hope I am clear till now, because I would like to know from people who are listening in this call. Now, we have many organs in our body which have two sets. There is a set of two, like eyes, ears, hands and arms, and legs. I'm talking only about the external organs. Only one of them is a little more stronger in each person. So hand and leg and foot go together, but sometimes the eye and ear could be different. So even in a right-handed person, left eye or left ear could be stronger. There are many reasons, many medical reasons, reasons related to causes related to birth and upbringing and so many other factors. Now we come to the very crucial factor what each person, including small children, face. So we are talking about writing. So when a right-hander writes, the page or the paper is tilted like this up to an angle of 20 to 35 degrees according to each one's preference. But when a left-hander writes, the paper is kept to a little more tilted angle, 30 to 45 degrees of tilt. We'll come to that. Now see, when right-hander keeps, it looks like this. You might have seen many left-handed children keeping the notebook or the paper lot more tilted than you expect them to be. But this is natural. They are not doing anything unnatural. Now what happens, our languages are mostly written from left to right, like the arrow suggests. And even for left-handers, it is from the left to right. Now, the right-hander starts writing closer to the body and moves away from the body, whereas the left-hander starts to write from away from the body and comes closer to the body. We'll see it. This is the way a right-hander writes. And a left-hander, it comes closer to the body. And this is a bit awkward movement for every left-hander because the hand is away and you have to pull the hand towards you, and the joints of our hands are little odd positioned, and that's why many left-handers get pain in their arms, pain in their fingers, cramps in their muscles, and a lot of problems while writing, especially writing exams or writing long pieces of paragraphs. So there is one more thing. I'm going to cover many things in little quick succession, and I can again come back to them when there is a question answer. This is a funny thing we have all seen. This is a right-handed pad chair. We all have used it. But what happens? Left-handers cannot use it properly. They have to sit very oddly to use that chair, and it also gives cramps and pains and numbness in their arm, and especially in the neck and shoulder region. So this is a big problem every left-hander might face with these chairs. So these chairs should not be used, or if they're used, you should create some chairs for left-handers. Now we will see some rituals. You offer flowers and other things to the god only with the right hand. You are supposed to accept the prasad only with the right hand. Prasad and tirth and everything only with the right hand. If you put your left hand forward, you are objected. You are told, no, not this hand. You have to use the other hand. So people who meditate use the mala only in the right hand. You apply kumkum or other things only with the right hand. Then there are certain customs like salute. You are expected to salute only with the right hand. Adab or kind of salam only with the right hand. Shake hand only with the right hand. And there are certain other vandans only with the right hand. And the left-hander always finds these things very painful, very unnatural, and very against the body structure and preferences. Then we come to the objections. Left-handers are always objected for certain things. First thing is eating. Even if a left-handed child starts eating with the left hand, he or she is told, no, 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 not this hand. This is not the right hand. It's a dirty hand. Use your right hand. Then, very famous thing, writing. Many children are forced to push the pen from the left hand to the right hand and try writing. But left-handers often or almost always prefer to write with their left hand. So please, please do not force any child to write or eat with the right hand. Always let them choose their own hand. If there's left, it's okay. If it's right also, it's okay. And there's one more thing like prasad. Let the prasad be accepted in any hand. There is nothing inauspicious about it because both the hands are created by nature, if you can say so, by God or by the Almighty. So nothing is inauspicious in our body. Just tell them how to keep them clean. This is more important than using this or the other hand. So left hand is not at all wrong or bad or inauspicious for using for eating, writing, and accepting prasad or doing puja. Now, in schools, when two children sit on the same desk or bench, sometimes a left-handed child is sitting on the right side and a right-handed child is sitting on the left side, and they bang their elbows. And many often, including myself when I was in school, were scolded, the left-handed ones, for not sitting right, and they are asked to push away. Left-hander or right-hander are not in wrong. It is just the situation that is wrong. So you can only make them shift and switch each other's position and the problem is sorted out. But many schools do not do it. They insist on making the children sit in the same place and not bothering each other. So please, please, I request all the teachers to understand the left-handers, and they tilt the paper also more. You can see the right-handed child's page or notebook tilt and the left-handed child's tilt are totally different. Left-handers is more tilted. So please make them switch their position and enjoy the place more peacefully. Now, using instruments, gadgets, and tools. See, pre-primary and primary children are not much using any gadgets, but still there are a few. Scale. Now, you would say this ruler or scale, what's wrong in that? What's left and right? Now, on this Zoom meeting or YouTube meeting, I cannot demonstrate you, but you can try doing it with your left hand if you're a right-hander. That if you want to draw a simple 3 centimeter or 4 centimeter line and taking first point on 0 and another point on 4 or 5, whatever you want, it is difficult to do it with left hand when you have to draw a vertical line. Horizontal line you can manage, but if you have to draw a vertical line, it is difficult because it's completely odd. You have to push your hand on the other side of the scale. You can try it yourself and you'll experience. And this is a major concern for a pre-primary and primary because most of the sharpeners are designed for right hand use. So you hold the sharpener in your left hand and push the pencil with the right hand and turn it. It is not possible to do it with the left hand. There are left-handed sharpeners and left-handed scales available, but not much for everyone. And now this third thing, this is a scissor. So now I will show you a bit of a demonstration. See, this is a scissor. Now I'm showing you a normal right-handed scissor. I don't know whether you have seen a scissor in this manner, but you can see that this scissor has 2 blades. Every scissor has 2 blades, pair of scissors as we call it. And one blade from my side, if you see, the right side blade goes up and the left side blade always goes down. Even if you turn the scissor, the right side blade will go up and the left side blade will go down. in the right-handed scissor. So when you are cutting something, you will hold it in the right hand, the right-handers, and push it. As stronger as you would push, these two blades will come together and make a fine cut. But if the same scissor is put in the left hand, like I'm doing, the stronger you push, these blades go away from each other. Especially in crafts, classes, children face this a lot. They push and push and push, and the paper doesn't get cut, and the child is scolded for not being attentive and not doing the job correctly, because this scissor also has right and left hand. Forget about these holes where you put fingers. Earlier the scissors only had a right hand grip. Now they have both handed grip, but the blades are still right handed. So these scissors create a lot of issue for small kids, especially in primary, pre-primary, where they are cutting thick paper for handicraft and other purposes, or cloth or something. So please be very sensitive and be very understanding with the kid. I have a left-handed scissor. You can see the left blade goes up and the right blade goes down. Whichever side you see, the left blade goes up, the right blade goes. So what happens, the more the left-hander presses, these two blades come together and make a very fine cut. But these scissors are not available everywhere. Now only some companies have come up and they are providing them, but I think they are a bit expensive. And online they are available, but again they are little more expensive. Now I think everybody has seen this utensil. This has a beak on the side, beak to pour liquid. If it is milk, tea, water, whatever. A right-hander can easily pour with this, but a left-hander gets problems. You cannot use that beak and you have to pour it from the other side. Now I'm going to use the same example in the laboratory setup. For a little upper classes, we have seen this as a simple thing that we use in the laboratory. I have it with me here and I will show it to you now. See, this is a measuring cylinder that I have. I don't know whether you can see it very clearly, but I will try to put a paper behind it, and you can see that the numbers are on only one side and not on both the sides. And there is this beak on one side. So what happens, I will show it like this. When a right-hander can see it, holding it in right hand, he can see the figures, pour the liquid in it, see exact reading, and pour it out wherever he wants, he or she wants. But when a left-hander holds it, he has to first see on this side, pour something in it, turn it all the way opposite side, and then pour. So what happens when small children are using it, it could fall down from their hands, they could take more time, they could make the readings wrong, and they could make many other errors for which they get scolded. But actually, they are not at fault. This simple piece of laboratory equipment is at fault. And if you check with your laboratories, there will be so many things like burettes, and there are other flasks and so many other gadgets. I'm going to come to that, which are at fault because they are completely and exclusively designed only for right-handers. Now we'll go to the next figure. This is a micrometer screw gauge. This is completely designed for right-handed because you can see in the readings, it has to be held in the right hand. The readings are on this side. Then there is this control on this side. And if you go on the back side, there's nothing. Readings are all upside down. There is no control knob. And if you hold it in left hand, you cannot use it. So left-handed children, left-handed students in laboratory always face a lot of problem using micrometer, and the readings can go wrong. Now this is another thing, Vernier caliper. Same thing. You can see all the readings and everything is on this side, and on the reverse side there is nothing. So only right-handers can use it. Left-handers face a lot of problem using it. Now I'm going to a little upper age group and upper standards or even classes where you use certain gadgets like microscope, and this has all the controls on the right hand side. Then I go a little quickly. This is an engineering and designing people's regular gadget called drafter or mini drafter. You can see that this can only be used holding the pen or pencil in the right hand. You cannot use it in this method or this way using your left hand. And then you have to make some jugglery, arrange it on reverse side on the bottom of the right side and try to use it. So there are so many things that left-handers in daily education and daily classroom find very annoying, very bothering. And then early and later life, when you're using higher equipment, higher gadgets, power cutter, these are very hazardous to left-handers because they're exclusively designed for right-handed use. Then there is this drilling machine. It also has controls only on right side. And then I will show you one more thing. This is a lathe, a typical traditional or regular lathe, and it has all the controls, almost all, for right hand use. Left-hander face innumerable problems getting right work done on these machines. So you have to understand what simple things can make a big issue for left-handers. Then again, this is a chainsaw exclusively designed for right-handers. Left-handers find it very difficult. Now, there are certain games which only allow a right-handed play. And can I ask you which one are they? Can you guess? One of them is our national game. And that is field hockey. Yes, correct. It can only be played with right-handed stick, with the right hand at the bottom and left hand at the top. You cannot do it the reverse way. It becomes a foul, and there are no left-handed sticks available in the market or for the game. And there is one more game which we normally don't play, but it's similar game which is called as horse polo. Horse polo, elephant polo, all are designed and expected to be played only with right hand, and left-handers cannot play it very efficiently. But on the other hand, there are certain games which allow left-handers, and there are many, of course. So left-handers excel in those games, and you can imagine one of them is a very, very popular game in India. It's a religion in India, as they say. That's cricket, or sometimes even in the baseball, which is not played in India, but that is also can be played left and right, both handed. And there are racket games like tennis, badminton, table tennis, squash rackets. These are the games which can be played with any one of the hands, left or right, or even both. You can switch between them, and that's perfectly all right. Now, these are some of the left-handed celebrities. And you can find out if you know anyone or if one of them is your favorites or many of them are your favorites. Bill Gates, Kapil Sharma, Amitabh Bachchan, then Rajinikanth, Ashutosh Gowarikar, Narendra Modi, Ratan Tata, Abhishek Bachchan, Abhay Deol,
Sachin Tendulkar.
Sachin Tendulkar, I'm coming to that. He's not in this picture because I have met him.
But he is a
I have
left-hander,
discussed.
sir.
No. I have met him, and let
He's
me come
not.
to- No.
Oh,
Let me tell you. Even
okay, sir.
Saurabh Ganguly is also not left-hander.
Mhm.
He bats
Oh, is
left-handed,
it?
but he's right-hander. Sachin Tendulkar bats right-handed, bowls right-handed, but writes left-handed, draws left-handed, cuts the cake left-handed, uses the knife in left hand. Why this happened? Because left-handed or right-handedness is not one or the other thing. It is a spectrum. It is a spectrum means some people can use one hand for some purpose and the other hand for other purpose. If you allow your children to use both the hands freely right from the infant state or infant stage, you will get many children using one hand for a few other things and the other one hand for other things, which is perfectly normal. Do not force any child, maybe left-handed or right-handed, to use only the right hand. Write with the right hand, eat with the right hand, draw with the right hand, play with no, please. Leave the child on its own. Let the child choose its own hand for anything. A child could write with the right hand, draw with the left hand, hold a racket with the left hand, bowl with the right hand. It's perfectly normal. Rather, it helps to balance your body. because body has two sides, and you cannot put all the burden on one side and let the other side a very secondary or nominal role. It's better to you that you balance it. So it is always preferred that children should decide which hand they want to use for any purpose in their life, even in childhood, in school, or even in adulthood. It's perfectly okay. Just teach the children to keep both hands clean. And now, during COVID, last 2 3 years, we are seeing that cleanliness, hygiene, sanitization are such big issues. Just teach children how to keep their hand clean and use any hand for any purpose. Indian culture did not discriminate between the hands, but we as humans do discriminate between our hands. How? Just see this. I showed you customs like shake hand and salute and adab and doing like you do in some. It's all to be done with the right hand. But India tells everybody to give equal importance to both the hands. And that's how we balance our life. But we as humans have unnecessarily created this issue of not using the left hand or tabooing the left hand and kind of creating an issue out of nothing. So my request to each one of you is to please allow the children to use any hand for any purpose anywhere. Just see that they don't find any difficulties in laboratories, in playground, at home, or anywhere they're using certain gadgets, certain equipment, certain instruments. And this is basically what I wanted to tell. But I would like now to invite a few questions from you.
Anyone can ask questions now, one by one. Teachers, especially
Okay,
because
ma'am, Manasa ma'am, Mini ma'am.
yes, Mini ma'am.
Yes, please.
Yes, sure.
Excuse me, sir, I have a doubt that
Yeah.
I have read somewhere the lefties are having a high risk of brain disorders. So how could we make it out in the younger age, like pre-primary level? Will it be very evident that how the left hand children are more getting affected with these brain disorders? Is it happening, or I
No.
just wanted to know about that?
First and foremost, there are so many researches for last 60 to 70 years being done around the world, and I have been following some of them. I have been checking, I have been interacting with scientists themselves also. There is no such as left-handers are more prone to either brain diseases or autoimmune diseases or certain kind of schizophrenic problems or anything like epilepsy. No. What happens is in certain ailments, like in brain disease, a normal person, a left or right hander both, can suffer a brain disease, and due to that disorder, his functioning of the left brain sometimes gets hampered, and then that person tends to use the left hand more, and that's why he or she is called as a left hander. But normally they are not left handers. They could be left handers or right handers, but left handedness is not directly connected with brain disorder. It is the other way around. So please do not feel that if you have a left-handed child, or if a left-handed child, or if a child uses left hand more, it could be prone to some kind of disease. No, it is completely a misconception. It's completely wrong. So you need not worry about a child being suffering from some brain disorder or for any disorder. Teach children hygiene, teach children to keep fit, teach them exercise, teach them fitness. Don't make them bookworms, and they will be healthy. That's but a very nice and very useful and important question that was. So thank you for asking. So anybody else, please?
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
Yes, this was a valid question. Many people ask us as well,
Yeah.
Related to brain or even heart, any disorder, especially to the vital organs, because left-handedness is something different and it's rare because we are only 10 to 15% of the population,
Yeah.
world population.
I want to tell you is, on the other hand, if a left-handed child is forced to use the right hand more and not use the left hand, the child can face a lot of psychological trauma. It can face negativity in the mind. It can start feeling guilty for being left-hander. It can start feeling not worthy of the parents, of the school, of the community, of the family. It can sulk, and sometimes that can affect the child's psyche and the child's speech. So when a child is forced to use the right hand, it could suffer ailments like stuttering, stammering, not being able to form sentences correctly, not interested in studies because writing with the right hand is a huge trauma. So they don't want to study, they don't want to attend the school because the teacher also sometimes harasses them to do things with the right hand. So please do not do that. That will add to their problems, which already they have using right-handed gadgets with left hand. So please try to minimize their problems.
Yes, you're right, Bipin, and you have addressed the questions very well. And now the next question is from Sharma ma'am, senior principal of a school. She has not mentioned the name of the school. So, yeah, her question is left-handedness inborn or is it by chance?
Inborn is and chance are not two opposite of each other. Inborn means yes, like our color of our eye, color of our skin, our height, everything is determined right before the birth. Genetically, if you call hereditary, whatever you can call it, it's predetermined. Similarly, the handedness or the sidedness is also predetermined. It is not by chance, meaning you cannot convert or make your own child left or right handed for everything in its life. Yes, by force, by compulsion, by punishment, you can make the child use any hand you want, right hand especially, but that does not change the handedness of the child. We know people who do not have hands and they can use their feet, the fingers, and write or paint, or people don't even have that, they paint holding the brush in their mouth. So you can train yourself to do anything in a very adverse condition, but that is not your natural being, that is not being natural. So handedness is by birth, it is not by change or not by nurture.
Yes, it's not just the choice. We are
No.
inborn and it comes in right before we are born. That's
And
right.
handedness does not mean only writing or eating. Handedness is 10,000 things that we do in life
Yes.
with one hand, and that you can never change. You can change one thing, two things by force, or sometimes by practice. Like right-handers try practicing writing with the left hand and they can fairly well do it, or left-handers practice writing with, but that is for fun, that is for hobby. You can practice that, but that does not change your handedness. Handedness is not just writing hand, playing hand, eating hand. It is so many things. Simple thing, holding a hammer to, you know, hammer a nail, which you cannot change that hand. Try doing that and you will hit it on your finger. Or matchstick, lighting a matchstick. You will always hold the matchstick in the stronger or dominant hand. So such things you can never change.
True. Yes, Bipin, in your talk, you mentioned it's a wide spectrum of activities, not just writing. Writing with left hand does not define your handedness. There are multiple tasks, and that is why I guess once you had made a questionnaire and to be filled up, like what activity you do from morning to evening with left
With
hand or
left
right
hand, with
hand
right hand, yes.
or
There is
with
a
both.
handedness assessment questionnaire, and each school
Yes,
should get hold of one, get every child filled it and assess it. Association of left-handers can help. Association of left-handers can come to your schools if possible, if mutually we get the terms okay, and we can talk to the teachers, we can talk to the parents and even the students themselves and guide you. We can interact online, we can interact through email, we can interact on WhatsApp, we can interact on Facebook, and we have so many media today. Or like this, we can hold a session for each school separately. And definitely each school should find out handedness of each child and they should make a note in their record. That will help the child in a longer run.
yes, absolutely. I agree with Bipin because just like population, we do a census, so we need to
Yes.
also have a tag on the tab on the number of left-handers in a school, in primary, secondary, or in college. And like you mentioned, in engineering, especially, that becomes very difficult, and to struggle with gadgets becomes more
Yes.
and more tough, and which I have experienced, because from day one in engineering, like from drawing, which is engineering, drawing or graphics is the language of engineers. So I
Yes.
struggled,
Yes.
but I mastered. And this is what most of us do, left-handers. We do not complain. We mostly adapt to the right hand, and get used to doing ambidextrous or
Yes.
both-handedness.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
what I developed during my engineering days. So I'm sure many have this problem, and instead of complaining, we'll adjust. But yes, we once, I guess, Bipin had on one left-handers day event, we had also talked about scissors today, what he mentioned, and also left-handed gadgets, that
Yeah.
maybe we can ask industrialists, small scale or medium or bigger scale industries, to come up with left-handed devices or gadgets.
Yeah.
We can also request the industry people to come up with gadgets
Yes.
and design, stuff for left-handers.
Yeah. I have another question. True, true. And that's very pertinent and very important thing. That designers should be aware of left hand use, and they should create things which could be used equally with both the hands. And maybe people would be very happy because they can easily use them. Left-handers can easily use them, and they don't have to go and buy expensive things. So that's very important thing. I see one question from Hassan Mukhi. She is online, but she could have asked it in audio. But she
Oh.
says, I heard that writing with your non-dominant hand helps to get your mind to focus on your task. Is this true?
Mhm.
Very nice question, Hassan Mukhi. See, anything that you do of pleasure on your own, with your own will, always helps you control your mind, makes your mind happy, makes your mind at peace and pleasant. But if somebody forces you to write with your non-dominant hand, it affects adversely to your mind because you're not interested in doing that. So if you are doing it with your non-dominant hand, yes, because two hands control two sides of the brains, and when you put together, what is namaskar? It is saying both these brains come together and be at peace. Sometimes these two brains can think. When you say I'm in two minds, we often say I'm in two minds.
Yes.
So two minds, there's nothing in your heart. There's no mind in your heart. Mind is all here. So two minds means two thoughts. One is a logical thought, one is a spontaneous, intuitive thought, and you don't know which one to go after. So when you put your hands together like this, it calms down your mind. If you put it like this, or if you hold your like this, close your eyes, it will automatically calm your mind down. So yes, what you say, if you do activities together with, or if you play a musical instrument with two hands, may it be a flute, may it be a tabla, may it be a guitar, yes, it will give you a lot of peace of mind because you're enjoying that activity. Nice question. I see many questions on
Yes, yes,
YouTube.
yes, they are going to come back with that. And one
Ah,
question, Bipin, now Nandini ma'am, she's asking, she
yeah.
has observed that many kids are using both hands, sometimes for some activities. So can we do such a practice and develop the kids to use both hands at that primary, pre-primary and primary level itself?
When you say you want to do something that is artificially, do it, but not by force. It should always be with the will or with the child's acceptance to the fact that it is going to help me. You cannot force anyone to do any activity with the non-dominant or weaker hand. Definitely, if the child itself does it on its own, yes, it's good. But as teacher, if you tell the class, now all the right-handers only use their left hand to do this, all the left-handers only use your right hand to do this. No, no, that is not a drill. That is not a parade where you control everything. Please do it with pleasure. Do it peacefully, like we do it nurseries, play groups. We are enjoying everything. Yes, in that manner you can do it, but not as a drill.
Yes, absolutely. Doing something that we enjoy, then that brings the maximum output or
Output,
best
yeah,
results.
yes.
Yeah. Yes, there is one question, and ma'am is asking, is being left-handed a benefit? Handedness, left-handedness, is it an advantage to us?
I think, Lina, you can answer this question.
Oh, yes. In a way, I can say, I am sure Bipin will agree. People who are creative and who want to be in this field, and he is into filmmaking, he's a producer, television and film producer. So, the best people, the artists, they are creative and they use the right brain dominance. We all left-handers use, but the main centers, they lie in that hemisphere. So, as for me, like when I'm writing an article, like recently I wrote about James Webb Space Telescope, and just the other day about 75 years of Indian independence, like how India has come up in a big way in science and technology aspect. So there it is there that I have to sit down and forget all my rest of my worries or whatever concern, and just focus on writing. So those writing skills, creativity, imagination, they come from the right brain, they emerge, or the seat of intelligence, they lie there. So I agree that being a left-hander or right-brained, for me, it's an advantage when it comes to creative thinking like this and writing something or even doing something out of the box. And that is the need of the hour. Actually, everyone uses logic and creativity, but then I'm sure in the famous left-handers list, what Bipin just showed in his slide, we can see very creative people and artists who are left-handers. So he can throw a
Yes,
light on that.
but
Yeah,
left-handers
yeah,
almost always spend a lot of time struggling with gadgets, appliances, and designs not suitable for them, and their main energy is wasted in that.
drained.
So, if a left hander is given a conducive environment, he
Yes,
can definitely flourish a lot more and do a lot more and use both sides of his brain in a creative manner. So, can we take questions from the YouTube now? Because
yes.
there are many. People say, Vipin Sharma is saying, people say left-handers are very intelligent, just shared. Uh, See, this is a very detailed and very complicated question to answer. Intelligence is measured in so many different ways. Emotional intelligence,
Right.
then there is so many other intelligence. We know that, IQ is there, EQ is there. No, they can be using both sides of their brain more efficiently than a dominant right hander. But yes, if they put that brain power to some use, they can show intelligence, they can show creativity, and they can excel more in life. So in a way, yes. Then there is next question.
Okay, here there is one question. What
Ah,
are the strategies we can use in a classroom? I mean, it's meant for the teachers,
yeah,
to deal with the left-handers, kids, left-handers.
there is one more issue, that because there are so many issues that one session is not enough. Simple thing is like writing, mirror writing. Many left-handers, even right-handers also, but many left-handers do mirror writing. If you write B, they will write B in English, or it looks mirror. Why? There's no wrong wiring in their brain. Please do not misunderstand. The wiring is all perfect. But what happens? They are following the hand movements of a right-handed teacher. And if a right-handed teacher does A like this, the left-handed child will do A like this, because hand movement is, it's mirrored in the sense it is imitated without the direction part of it. It is imitated as per the hand structure. And then a left-handed child could draw in a mirror image. So for them, you have to show them even the right from right to left sometimes. So you have to put a point on their paper saying this point is left. You have to start writing from this side to this side and make an arrow, something to show them the direction. And then somebody has to hold their hand and try writing the right alphabets in the right style. That is more an issue. So sorry, I missed your point.
Yes. What strategies we can teachers can
So this
adopt?
is one strategy. If
Yes.
they're writing wrongly, one thing, then helping them use sharpeners and simple things like uh, laboratory things and all. You find out whether a left-hander is struggling to use, and you have to give them help. My request to all governments in India, state governments and education departments is to, like Kerala government, I was told that has already started to give 15 minutes extra for an identified left-hander in examination.
Oh, wow.
If there are listeners and viewers from Kerala, please uh, authenticate this fact, because I was told by my members in Kerala, and can we do something similar in other states also? But for that, you need to carefully identify a left-hander, prove there has to be a certification. Our association can help in identification of the children, certifying the children, and then allowing them either extra time or some extra points or marks in their examination. That could help them a lot. This is a very important thing for later classes. So strategies,
Yes.
these are the strategies you should work out in the class. Yeah. Next.
Yes. One ma'am asks, are the left-handed kids really gifted? Because we have observed that some are really good at drawing and mathematics
If
and
it is
something.
heavily right-brained child, sometimes the creativity can flow very fast, and the child can definitely do it. But I won't say all left-handers are highly creative and all left-handers are super intelligent. No, they are normal human beings like you and me. Everybody is normal. First, treat them as a normal person, and then find out if they have something addition to that. Let them be normal. Let them not face all very simple but very complicated issues, like simple, avoidable but complicated issues in daily life, and then they can excel. Now I can see a question here from Sujata. I have one question, sir. As a pre-primary teacher, what I observe that some children are using both the hands for coloring. So what to suggest? Use both the, of course,
Yes.
there is nothing wrong if they're using both the hands for anything. Even I would say, if a child is eating with both the hands, I know many parents and many teachers are not going to approve of this. Let them eat with both the hands. When you're using spoon and fork, you're automatically using both the hands. When you're eating a big burger, you're using both the hands. Then why not in your roti and sabzi and rice? Let them use both the hands. They will decide at a later stage which hand they want to continue, which hand they want. Like cutting a roti, making a small morsel of roti. In many families, it is not allowed to use both the hands. Even in my childhood, I remember they were asking me to cut the roti with only one hand, not to touch the left hand. I said, why? If you have the both hand, why not cut roti with both the hands and make a morsel and eat it? Let the children do it. Absolutely nothing wrong in it. Nothing wrong in it. Coloring, painting, doing anything in your life with both the hands is perfectly fine. Then let me come. Pooja Shetty. In pre-primary, the children who write in left hand finds difficult in the writing speed compared to the right-handed child. So how can we help them speed up? Very, very important question. It is unfortunately very difficult to increase their speed, because writing the design, as we saw in the presentation, it is very odd for left-hander. They have to pull their left hand from away from the body towards their body and lift it 100 times each for each word, whereas the right hander smoothly writes. It doesn't have to lift the hand continuously. That affects the speed. So let the children practice at home on their own. There are certain gadgets. For a pencil, you get an attachment. Right now I don't have it, so that the fingers are at comfort. There are so many other things I cannot fit it in this one. When you're writing with the right hand, the left thumb only does only pushing part, and these two fingers do the curvature part of making the alphabets. So these three fingers share the writing. But when a left hander writes, the thumb doesn't do much other than supporting. The pushing part and the curving part is done by these two fingers, and that creates a huge pressure on these fingers that spoils the handwriting, that reduces the speed, that even the line can go tilted, and the child is scolded for not writing in straight line. So all these factors need to be understood by the teacher while teaching or training a small kid writing. So the speed, that's why I said you cannot increase, because the shoulders pain a lot when you write paragraphs after paragraphs. There's a lot of pain on this part of your body, and then the speed reduces like that. Our handwriting gets spoiled. So please, please, please be very understanding, be very, tolerant with left-handers, and let them practice and increase the speed on their own. So that's one important question. So now again, the next.
There is one question out here.
Yeah.
Why are parents and teachers generally, scared to develop the kids into left-handers? So they try to change handedness. So why do they do that?
It is conformative behavior. We want to conform with the majority. Everybody wears shirts and trousers. If tomorrow I start wearing dhoti and kurta and go to a posh corporate office, people are going to laugh at me. So even if I like dhoti and kurta, I'm not going to wear it because I'm not accepted. So parents are afraid that a left-handed child will be looked at as an odd one out, which will be teased, bullied, or will be kind of given bad names. That's why they don't want, especially for girls. Every parent, even in today's 21st century, is worried. Iska shadi ke baad kya hoga? What would happen after she gets married and goes to the in-laws? If they come to know that she is left-hander and she's serving and eating with left hand, they will kick her out and send it to the mother's place. No, please understand. Find out whether the in-laws are understanding and caring or not. This is not going to happen. This is 21st century. Please let the girl grow as she wants, and let her use whatever hand she wants. There is a fear in our mind that society will criticize, society will bully. That's why parents don't want the children to use their left hand. There are many questions actually. I don't know how much I can cover. And people are thanking me also, but this is not enough. You on your own, please go to the net, study, find out what left-handers face, because it is called as world's largest unorganized minority. It is unorganized minority, and we're trying to organize it. We're trying to bring it together and give it a voice. So you teachers are our main source of helping in this bringing together. So be gentle with the left-handers, and please let us know if you have any problem. I have given my email ID also to that. I can even type it here, and you can definitely contact us. You can find out lefthanders.org is our page. These are our email IDs. This is our website. You can take a screenshot, or this video is going to be on the YouTube forever. So you can come back to it and take all these details. You can WhatsApp also. Please don't call. This number will not be answered. So please only WhatsApp or email, and we will definitely be there to help you. So this is more. Is there any more question?
Yes, one or two teachers were asking me, can we encourage left-handers more into sports or arts, like drawing and performing arts, than academics?
See, if I say yes, parents are going to curse me for not letting them go to academics, because academics is, people think that academics is something that will go to help them feed and sustain in life and grow and earn money. So I cannot say about academics. I will not. But academics is important. But still, yes, find out the child's aptitude, find out the child's inclination, and yes, if the child is inclined towards music, towards dance, towards painting, definitely encourage it. Or sports, like I would suggest, let the children choose an individual sport, like rather than a team sport. Left-handers can excel a lot more in individual sports. Not that in cricket there are no left-handers, but yes, the chance of getting noticed is more in an individual sport like tennis or athletics or many other things than badminton, table tennis, squash. We just now saw Commonwealth Games. We earned so many so many
Gold
medals. See, a simple thing, Neeraj Chopra is a right-handed javelin thrower. Why not we can have a left-handed javelin thrower? He could do a lot more. Let's try. So encourage a child to use and do javelin, learn javelin. So yes, you can encourage in sports and music, but not at the cost of academics.
Yes, to extend your answer, I myself was good at a few sports and also drawing, but I chose physics and mathematics, and I'm today a STEM educator and into space education.
Yes.
So, I think left-handers. People ask this question also: are left-handers the greatest in mathematics, the great mathematicians and scientists? Is the
Yes.
left-handedness more predominant in scientists?
Yes. I can. I mean, I'm not sure, but we have to find Einstein was left-hander.
Yes.
There's so many people who are left-hander.
Yes.
They are excelling because they can think out of the box. I can go on and on. We have to end the session somewhere.
Right.
But there is a called as midbrain thinking in management.
Yes.
Yeah, this left and right bringing together. And left-handers can bring and do that a lot more efficiently than right-handers. That is my personal belief. I have not done any research on that, but we have to explore it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Madame Curie, we heard that she was left-handed, and Benjamin Franklin, and there is a
many.
list of astronauts also.
Leonardo da Vinci was left-hander.
Yes.
He was a scientist, a sculptor, a doctor, and what not. He was everything.
Yes.
So what more you want?
Yes, pertinent to that same, there was a question that are left-handers, because we do a lot of multitasking. So can left-handers do more multitasking, predominantly than the right-handers?
I see that, but I have not done again any research, and somebody has to take up this research and find out. We can provide you samples of left-handers and right-handers are there in abundance. So we can do a very, very good research on this factor.
True.
So really nice session,
Yes.
really nice questions from everybody. And I would love to interact individually also with schools, with teachers, and especially College of Educations, B.Ed and D.Ed colleges. I would love to deliver lectures there, talk to them, and bring some kind of a lesson in the curriculum of education. B.Ed and D.Ed should have one section talking about handedness, and we are ready to impart knowledge and even write those chapters for them. That would be great.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, we are getting many questions, and I guess we'll collect them through Prashant, and
Yes.
You could answer them later on. And
Absolutely.
one question that keeps coming,
Ma'am wants to ask. Many ma'am
yes.
wants to ask. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes.
Sir, just 1 second I'll take.
Yes.
Sir, how can we contact you if we want to
I
get
just
a
now
session from your side from
I just now
to
showed my
the institutions?
I showed you my screen of email and WhatsApp.
Yeah, the same thing we can.
Yeah,
we can contact through that.
Essentially for that only. And Prashant sir has
it
with him. So
we will keep in touch with sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And thank you so much, sir. It was very inspirational.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for
and happy Left-Handers Day for both of you.
Thank
Lina
you
madam
and to everyone, because everyone has a left hand.
Sir.
And respect your own left hand, and then you will respect others' left hands. So first respect your own left hand.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It was really nice.
Just before we end, one last question, and it keeps coming because it's very common. Is left-handedness genetic?
People are working on it. There are families and families like you and your daughter, both are left-handers. I know there are many, but in my family, I don't have anyone before me. And there are many people. I have 5-6 people in the family left-handers, but in some families there are only one. So we cannot find out. But they say there is a gene which affects the handedness. So there a lot more research needs to be done on these things. And one day we will have the answer.
Yes, I'm sure.
Real answer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes.
Thanks a lot for moderating. And
Yes,
yeah,
thank
tell
you
me.
so much. Vipin, yes, it was a very insightful presentation and talk, and especially even the interaction, because addressing all these wide range of questions, it's a wide spectrum actually. You have done justice to that. And yes, today being a big day for us, and you have been relentlessly doing this for over almost 3 decades, right?
More than 31
More
years.
than, yes, 31 years actually. So let us have everything at the left hand for the benefit of left-handers, and let us have more and more devices and gadgets, equipment coming for us.
Yes.
So this is what we have been championing for the cause of left-handers and left-handedness. And Vipin has been in advocacy for left-handers and left-handedness, and like I said, widely, it all boils down to handedness. He's been a researcher, he has been doing this, and with the foreign universities as well. And he has been participating in such talks and, networking with worldwide global left-handed community. So it is from him that we get to know what is happening around in the world. So
My
let us
pleasure.
create.
It's my passion also.
Yes, of
So
course.
I enjoy doing it. So anytime, anywhere, we
Yes,
can definitely decide and meet
yes.
anybody
So
around India. Thank you
yes,
very much. And hope all have, I would expect people contacting me on email or WhatsApp, whatever is possible, and love to interact even further. Thank you.
yes, thank you for this insightful presentation and talk.
Thank
And
you.
we have been getting feedback, and we'll pass those
Yeah,
questions
I
to
would
you.
love to get the feedback from whichever for forum it is available. Thank you, Mini ma'am. Thank you, Manasa ma'am. Thank you, everyone else, Prashant and
Prashant,
Vidyadan Foundation.
Vidyadan Foundation, thank you very much. They've been doing a noble cause work,
Absolutely.
great social work and educational activities. And people from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and East to West,
Yes.
today they have joined, and also global community. So it's a great coverage. And thank you very much. We enjoyed, hope you all enjoyed this session as much as
Yes,
we
we do.
enjoyed bringing
Thank
it
you.
to you.
Absolutely.